Story weather meteorologist Ryan Henning. Another video. This time I wanted to go ahead and take a look at Thanksgiving for you, since I know that's a big travel day and a lot of people are on the road. The bigger trips are probably all taken care of. If you're going out of town flying somewhere, you're probably already at your destination, made a whole week of it. But the day of, that's when we have our shorter trips, maybe a couple hours out of town. So we need to look at what the weather's going to look like for those roadways on Thanksgiving Day. So this is a look. I figured you were probably sick of my old weather animator maps that I was using, so I decided to use Weather Underground's Wonder Map. And just to spice it up, I thought I'd look at the Euro, which is a little bit more finely tuned than the GFS and NAM tend to be. And also, it's in these nice WXP colors that Wonderground uses. So, I mean, you can see on here, I don't think it's that difficult to figure out. The pinks and blues are where the precipitation is going to be. So up in the Pacific Northwest, and then moving in towards New England. This is a valid time of the early afternoon, so it gives you a pretty good idea of what the days are going to be like. And it shows a whole big chunk of the country. I would say probably at least 80% of the country is in clear skies. We can see this big bold yellow line. That's the 540 thickness line, generally indicating a change from where the precip north of the line is going to be snow and where south of it would be rain. So this is also a good indicator of where our cooler temperatures are going to be, which is, like I said, north of this line. So when it's arcing like this, it's a little bit warmer. When it's making this U shape, it's going to be a little bit colder. So it's going to be fairly chilly. New England, Northern Great Lakes. This precip moving into New York is likely to be snow, especially at the higher terrain. So as the winds come off from the northwest, places like Syracuse could see a pretty decent bout of snow on Thanksgiving Day. Off to the west, it's going to be more dependent on elevation. That whole rule of thumb that I was talking about with the 540 thickness, which you can see slicing through Washington and Northwest Oregon, it kind of goes out the window when you're dealing with the mountains of the Cascades and the Northern Rockies, and then also the proximity to the Pacific Ocean. So it's likely more going to have to do with how high up you are on a mountain, as opposed to whether or not you're north of this line. Seattle's not going to see snow. Mount Rainier definitely will. Areas around Puget Sound aren't going to see snow, but it will be fairly dreary for places like Seattle, down towards Portland, and all of those towns along the spine of the Cascades in Oregon, like Corvallis, Salem, Eugene, down towards Medford. Looks a little rainy for Thanksgiving Day. And then back up towards the Sawtooth Range, northern Idaho, into western Montana. I think it's going to be a little bit snowier just because the terrain is higher. Kalispell could see some snow. Coeur d'Alene looks like they might be just to the north of it, but I wouldn't be surprised to hear about some snow mixing in there either. Through the western Great Lakes, where we're seeing the tighter cluster of these isotherms, could be a little bit breezy, a little thermal wind going on there. And then down towards Florida, isolated pop-up thunderstorms. We've got an area of low pressure developing just off the coast of Florida and the Bight of Georgia here. This is later in the week going to hook up with this system up in eastern Canada and bring more heavier rain to like the Cape area of Massachusetts and elsewhere in southern New England. But on on Thanksgiving, just some isolated thunderstorms over South Florida. Again, this is midday, so if we start animating it, you can see not a whole lot is going to change. Didn't animate it. Maybe some of this precip up in Idaho is going to work its way deeper into Montana, so Helena, Great Falls, they could see a little bit more activity. Snow in New York is going to be winding down, and that's what we got. Very quiet for Thanksgiving. No complaints here. Hope you all have a happy holiday, and please keep watching these videos and coming to VictoriaWeather.com to get our great weather content. Again, have a great night. I'm Victoria Weather Meteorologist Ryan Henning.